Hello, beer tubers, and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the Master of Puppets. Today, checking out some more hype beer that I picked up on Beer Dome. So thanks a ton to Beer Dome for the beer. This is some more Three Sons, and this is the beer that arguably put Three Sons on the map. I've tried it once before, and this is Three Sons Lumberjack Morning Break. Albeit slightly different than it originally was, I think, in terms of ingredients and whatnot. I'm not sure if this specific beer did, but back in the day, some Three Sons beers, they also used a bit of flavoring to boost the adjuncts. I don't think they do that anymore. They use like the real deal. But I think this was the beer that really put Corey on the map when he was homebrewing with the whole Three Sons project. This was the beer that people really talked about and just raved about. And I've had it once back in 2019 where I loved it myself. So it'll be fun to revisit the beer now, 5 years later, see how it is. So I haven't had it since, I think. But it's a massive, I guess, pastry stout or breakfast stout on 14.5%, at least this 23 vintage. And they actually just also, I think they have a special day for it now called Lumberjack Day, which is like very soon. So I'm guessing it's a year old. But the beer is an Imperial Stout aged in Heaven Hill and MGP rye whiskey barrels that were filled in 21 and emptied in 23. So actually, more than 2 years in the bottle, in the barrel, one of them, I think, which is really cool. Both of them are more than 2 years in the bottle, or in the barrel. That's really impressive. So I can't calculate this because they put dates, but this is definitely over 24 months. And then they treat it with dark maple syrup and Argyle coffee. So coffee and maple syrup, that's it. And then barrel aged. Let's see how it is. So pours a very nice, rich, black looking color. It leaves curtains on the glass. The head faded almost instantly. And it just looks like a nice, rich Imperial Stout. Let's check out the aroma. And thanks to Beer Dome for the beer. There's a lot of coffee. Loads of coffee, and it goes into a little bit of that green coffee bean, almost like bell pepper note. But I'm also getting a good amount of maple. There's so much coffee. Like, I really like coffee stouts, but I've been a bit picky with them as of like recent times, because if they get too like green coffee bean, I'm not super into them. And this one smells nice, and it's not like too much. There's also like loads of chocolate underneath, and I'm definitely also smelling the rye barrel. There's like a sharp spice to it, almost like pepper, black pepper. But yeah, the more you smell it, the more you get more than coffee notes. And further away, I was getting loads of maple, and I think it's also there. But the coffee's, I think, the adjunct that shine the most, and also fudgy bourbon, like caramel, toffee, vanilla, like classic American barrel treatment. It smells like a massive coffee stout. Let's try it. Cheers. And once again, thanks to Beer Dome. Ooh, a lot of maple, a lot of carbonation, and some acidity to it, like roasted malt acidity. I'm wondering if this is re-fermented a little bit in the bottle because of all the maple, because it was definitely foaming up a lot when I poured it. That's interesting. We need to kill some CO2 here, because I don't like barrel-aged stouts. Should not be fizzy. They should be and also barley wines, they should be lightly carbed. Maybe the acidity is also from the coffee. There's loads of coffee on the palate. Very charry coffee, a little bit of the green coffee bean as well. And then lots of sticky sweet maple syrup. Like, it's sweet, but I think acidity and sharpness of roast kind of breaks the mold a little bit here, so it's not too sweet. But it's too fizzy, I think. Like, it's really fizzy. I'm just swirling like crazy here to try and kill head retention, or kill the CO2. I'm really thinking this is re-fermented a little bit. The acidity is really sharp. And what's interesting, there's so much coffee, so much maple, that the barrel is a bit second fiddle. I think there was more barrel character on the aroma than the flavor, actually. the flavor is loads of coffee and maple. And then there's like this undercurrent under all that maple sitting, which is a little bit spicy, which I'm guessing is the rye barrel. And there's also some vanilla notes. But this totally feels like a beer that needs to sit in the glass and degas and chill out a little bit just to, you know, find its own. I would love more barrel. I'd love for it not to be fizzy. I'd love for the coffee character not to be like green coffee bean, almost bell pepper notes. Yeah. And then maybe just it's definitely a modern base because it's a lot of sweetness, kind of slightly chocolatey, caramelly vibes. I like when my stouts have a little bit of edge or roastiness. It's just soft, like even in pastry stout these days, because it just helps balance everything. Soft, like the bitterness of roasted malt can balance all that sweetness a little bit. And it just also gives the beer more edge and makes it seem a bit more like aggressive and oomphy. Whereas like when you go all like chocolate malts and whatnot, I think often it can work for pastry stouts for sure, but it also sometimes makes the beer seem less stout-like. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a little disappointed in this one. I don't think it's a bad beer, but I'm not like totally hyped about it either. It'll be interesting to see how the almond Danish break. No, almond Danish. Is it? Yeah, break. Almond Danish break, I think is the name. Because I have that as well, which is with cinnamon and almonds and vanilla frosting. That's going to be even sweeter, I'm sure. It's still for sure something you should check out, but I don't think it's world class for me. It's when I drink these beers, I almost always expect them to be world class and amazing. And this is really good, but there's just a few things about it that I just like. And then also like the acidity seems a little bit too sharp, making it seem a little bit fruity. Like, not that that's necessarily bad, but there's just more things that I can critique than just purely talk positive about. So in terms of a grade, early 90s, maybe like a 92 or something like that. It's good barrel-aged beer. It's nothing wrong with it. It's just not exactly what I really, really love. But let's see, maybe I'll put a different grade on the video if it changes in the glass over time. But let's see. So if you guys had a chance to try the 23 vintage of Lumberjack Morning Break by Three Sons, let me know what you thought of it. And thanks a ton to Beardo for the beer. And as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And I'm going to say cheers and see you guys in another beer review.